Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Ray here, meteorologist Stephen Ray, as I should say. I wanted to do a quick little video and let you guys know about the latest information on now catastrophic Category 5 hurricane Milton in the Gulf of Mexico near the Yucatan Peninsula. And as you are looking at that right now, Milton has just been named a Category 5 system, which is winds of 160 miles per hour. This is a catastrophic, dangerous hurricane right now. And unfortunately, the models continue to indicate that this thing is going to continue to move in the direction of the Florida Peninsula and make landfall anywhere between Tampa, Florida, down towards the Sarasota area on Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night. Now, I can put this into motion for you, and as you can see, this thing is continuing to strengthen rapidly. This has become the most quickest storm to produce from going from a Category 1 to 5 in Atlantic history, as last night it had winds of 90 miles per hour. The winds right now are 160. This thing is an absolute monster, and this thing is going to be a nightmare for people in and around the Tampa area coming in over the Wednesday time frame and then into Wednesday night and Thursday. So if you have interest in the Tampa area, the west coast of Florida, basically anywhere from Tampa all the way down to Cape Coral, you guys desperately need to watch this as it continues to move and prepare now for life-threatening weather conditions. Once again, if you are just now tuning in, we are now looking at catastrophic Category 5 Hurricane Milton that is near the Yucatan Peninsula in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico, and this will, of course, be moving towards the Tampa area. Now, let me actually put the track on here for you. And there, of course, is the track. Here is the latest information as of 10:55 a.m. Winds are 160 right now. It is a Category 5 hurricane. This is advisory number 10, and this thing is moving still right now to the east-southeast. However, it is supposed to turn more towards the northeast, and I do know, and the good thing is that dry air is supposed to wrap into this system over towards the Wednesday time frame and weaken it, hopefully from a Category 4 down to a Category 3 hurricane. But once again, this thing is going to be a monster, and as of right now, as of 11:30 on Monday afternoon, or Monday morning I should say, they have this thing going into Tampa at 7 p.m. on Wednesday evening, and then it is supposed to move over towards the Lakeland area, and then in between Kissimmee and Orlando, and then move into the Atlantic Ocean anywhere between Cape Canaveral and Daytona Beach. So anybody within the cone of uncertainty, basically from Cape Coral all the way up to the Big Bend area of Florida, again near Cedar Key, needs to continue to watch this right now, because this is going to be a major and life-threatening hurricane, because Tampa does flood. It is below sea level, and this could be a very catastrophic situation for anybody near the St. Petersburg area, Tampa, Brandon, Riverview, Largo, and places in and around Tampa. I do note that the Tampa Bay football team, they have a game on Sunday with the New Orleans Saints. They have already evacuated to New Orleans, and they are supposed to be there on Tuesday for their game on Sunday. So Tampa, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they are already going ahead and flying out ahead of this storm. But once again, there is the catastrophic Category 5 hurricane Milton right now. It is just upgraded to a Category 5 as of 10:55 this morning with winds of 160 miles per hour. It is still moving off towards the east-southeast. However, as you can see, it is supposed to continue this track like this, and then it is supposed to turn off towards the northeast, and then start moving towards the northeast, towards the peninsula of Florida within the next little bit. So once again, this is a life-threatening situation that is ongoing for anybody down here across the northern portions of the Yucatan Peninsula, and then once it gets over here towards the eastern Gulf, it's really going to pack a punch for Tampa, Sarasota, Northport, and Cape Coral, Florida, anywhere basically from north of Naples all the way to Cedar Key, Florida. Anybody within this cone of uncertainty needs to continue to monitor the latest information and the latest on Milton, because this thing is going to pack a major punch. And dude, it is going to be very, very, very life-threatening, and especially if this thing comes right in over St. Petersburg and Tampa like they say it is supposed to. So once again, it is currently 11:30, and so I wanted to do a quick little video and show you the latest track on Milton, as well as the latest satellite interview, or the latest satellite image, I should say. And there, of course, is the monster Hurricane Milton. So this thing is really going to pack a punch, guys. I will continue to update you guys as needed on this threatening weather situation. Now, what I'm going to do is see if there are any comments or questions from you guys and try to answer any of them as possible. Okay. So as of right now, there are no comments, which is good. But once again, this is catastrophic Category 5 Hurricane Milton. If you're just now joining me, I did want to let everybody know that this thing is now a Category 5 storm with winds of 160 miles per hour. And as you can see how quickly it has become a hurricane from last night with max winds of 81 miles per hour all the way to this morning of winds of 160. And this is the fastest a storm in the history of the Atlantic has gone from a Category 1 to a Category 5. So this thing is continuing to make history. And unfortunately, Tampa, Florida, and places on the western coast of Florida will feel the effects of the storm in the Wednesday night, and Thursday time frame. So if you were watching me anywhere near the western portions of Florida, or even in the central portions of Florida, you need to either evacuate now, or if you're not in an evacuation area, you need to start preparing now, and by tomorrow evening have all of your plans and your preparations done, because all day Wednesday, that is when it is really going to start deteriorating for the west coast of Florida. So preparations need to be made by the end of day tomorrow. And if you are going to evacuate, it needs to be done by, I would say, noon tomorrow at the latest, because this thing is really going to start bearing down on the coast of Florida as we get into the day on Wednesday. So prepare now, and if you need to evacuate, go on ahead and do so. And if you have any family members or loved ones or friends in the Tampa area, basically anywhere from the area of Cape Coral and Naples all the way up to Cedar Key, Florida, you need to call them, check on them and tell them that they desperately need to monitor this life-threatening weather situation, because as you can see, the models have it coming in right now as a Category 3 and a Category 1 over in the Atlantic. So that means that this thing is going to stay a hurricane throughout the peninsula of Florida. And so there's going to be major damage from wind damage and tornadoes all in this area right in here. And this does include the areas of Ocala, Deltona, Orlando, Spring Hill, Palm Bay, and places anywhere within this. So not only is Tampa going to be really hit hard, places in the interior of Florida as well, including Lakeland, as well as Kissimmee, Cape Canaveral, Palm Bay, and even in Orlando. So you guys are going to need to prepare, even if you're not on the immediate coast, because this thing is coming in as a 3 on the west coast of Florida and exiting as a Category 1 on the east coast of Florida. So this thing is going to stay a hurricane as it crosses the state of Florida. And it does look like that this will unfortunately transition across the city of Orlando. It is going to dissect the entire area of Orlando. Unfortunately, there is the white line right there is the official track. I am zoomed in here over Orlando to kind of give you a better picture of where this thing is going to go over. So this thing is going to really pack a punch from Tampa all the way over to Daytona Beach and Cable. So guys, I will continue to update you guys as needed. But once again, as we sit here close to the noontime hour, we now have Category 5 Hurricane Milton that is bearing down right now on the Yucatan Peninsula, and this is going to scoot off towards the northeast and attack the western portions of the Florida Panhandle, the Florida Peninsula within the next 48 hours or so. And anybody, like I said, once again, anybody from the Naples area, which is south of the cone of uncertainty, all the way up here to the Cedar Key area, needs to be on the lookout for any shifts or track nudges as this thing comes on ashore. And this thing, like I said, will be moving towards the area between 9 a.m. or 7 a.m. on the 9th, which is Wednesday, and 7 p.m. on Wednesday as well. So Wednesday, if you are on the west coast of Florida, this thing is really going to be packing quite the punch, and your conditions will become treacherous to dangerous the closer we get to the evening hours on Wednesday if you are along the western portions of the Florida coast. And the reason that I'm doing this is because Tampa is a very populated portion of the Florida area. And so, yes, when this thing gets closer to the coast, with it being a populated area on Wednesday, I will be going live and I will be staying live as this thing makes its way towards Tampa, because this is a major city in the United States and in the state of Florida. So guys, have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. If by chance you are watching me in the state of Florida, prepare now, going ahead and evacuate now. And guys, prepare for the worst and hope for the best, because this thing is already outproducing the models, overdoing itself. So guys, this thing could be potentially deadly and life-threatening. So prepare now, and I will continue to update you guys. Once again, there is catastrophic Category 5 hurricane Milton, as it is going to scoot across the northern portions of the Yucatan Peninsula, and then unfortunately make its way towards the western portions of the Florida Peninsula, including Tampa. Have a great rest of your Monday afternoon. I will be here monitoring things and will continue to update you guys. Naples. Okay. Just a second. I just saw the YouTube comment from Amber. So I'm going to answer that question. So you are in Naples. As of right now, I would not evacuate because they have it going towards the Tampa area closer to Sarasota. But if you are in Naples, down here towards the Cape Coral area or Naples, I would really monitor the latest weather information and the latest paths, because the models have been shifting north and south, and there are still time for it to shift south or shift north again. So if you are in Naples, Cape Coral, or Northport, Florida, I do want you guys to really monitor this storm over the next 24 to 36 hours, just in case there are shifts in the track that could go north, unfortunately, towards where the other one went in, or even further off to the south, which would be Cape Coral and Naples. So nobody in the state of Florida is out of the woods right now. As of right now, as of close to noon on Monday, they have it going in to Tampa. However, with the new models that come out tonight and in the morning, it could shift north, it could shift south. So keep abreast of the latest weather information. Anybody along the western side of the Florida Peninsula, because this thing, like I said, will continue to shift and move, and the tracks will be expanded. And as we get closer, we can really nail down where this thing is going to come in and how nasty it is going to be. So please, anybody basically from Cedar Key all the way down to Naples, monitor the latest weather information, because like I've said before, this thing can and will jog north or south of the projected path right now. But as of the 10 a.m. path, this thing has it going right through Tampa. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, guys, and I will continue to update you as needed.